So please don't take my kindness for a weakness, cause I'm with angels.
Hello, hello, hello. Where y'all at, Antones? Hello! I'm so excited to have y'all with us to close out Black Music Month the right way with Torch Literary Arts and Say Word, a celebration of Black Music Month and these incredible Black women artists, right? You know, my name is Amanda Johnston. I'm the founder and executive director of Torch. And I love what I do. I get to curate events like this and see these amazing people, you, who show up to support great work here in Austin, Texas. It means everything that you show up and support, not just Torch Literary Arts, but why we do this, what our mission is, and that's to amplify and support Black women writers. So give a round of applause to yourselves. I have the esteemed pleasure to introduce our incredible artists. We're gonna start first with a panel and talk about what actually goes into being a songwriter, right? Like, we love music, clearly. We're at the historic Antones right now. We love music, but you know, we get the end product and then it gets streamed or played on the radio, you know, we go to the concert, but you don't really get to take a minute to appreciate all of the work that went in to first start with a lyricist, a songwriter, putting pen to paper or hand to keys, I know in 2024, but to write that song and what that takes. So they're gonna share a little bit behind the scenes into their process as songwriters, and we've got three incredible artists. So first, I wanna introduce Dada. Whether in music, media, or education, Ghislaine Dada is a Haitian-American afro spiritualist storyteller. As a performing artist, she is one half of Writers Against the Storm, whoop, whoop, an award-winning hip-hop duo. Writers Against the Storm has performed in Europe, Africa, and the US. They have shared the stage with many artists and legends, including Erykah Badu, Bootsy Collins, Rakim, and Wale, just to name a few. They continue to release music and perform. As the founder of QD Life and Education, she holds sacred space, offering spiritual mentorship and education to facilitate community needs. Follow her on divineandconjure.com. Please welcome Dada. All the way to the stage, all the way to the stage. Next up, we've got Megs Trufant-Tillman. She is a writer, musician, director, multi-hyphenate with Southern roots, hailing from New Orleans. She is the co-founder and one half of Austin-based jazz, neo-soul, hip-hop outfit Magna Carta, and has played stages at ACL and South by Southwest, toured nationally, and has played with artists such as Black Pumas, Odyssey, No Name, Jizza, Raekwon, Lizzo, Bad Bad Not Good, and Raphael Saadiq. Her film works include directional debut, the award-winning New Orleans set short film Little Trumpet, and her most recent short film as co-director and co-writer, Newbies. She most recently served as a writer on the music video for the Oscar-winning song Fight For You by Her, and Amazon's Her Prime Day episode, as well as music supervisor for the short film Prepared and Little Trumpet. She is also the founder and editor of Water, a boutique bookshop and Black literary arts magazine. Her creative work centers Black life and culture, as well as the Black South. Visit bymegs.com, but welcome her right now, Megs. And we also have in the building, inspired by trailblazing women in R&B that have come before her, Maya Sampleton hopes to honor her predecessors with her sound, blending her tone and vocal ability with her pen to tell stories of young Black womanhood. Maya was born and raised in Austin, the live music capital of the world. Maya has performed at Soho House in Austin as part of their Sunday Session series, opened up for Talib Kweli, sang backup for Sudan Archives ACL live performance, and sang backup for Black Odyssey's NPR Tiny Desk performance. Maya just released her newest single, Mind Made Up, in February of this year, a classic R&B heartbreak ballad accompanied by visuals of Black love. Tap in with her on all streaming platforms and on socials. Please welcome Maya Sampleton. And I would be remiss if not shouting out our incredible DJ, curator, just the heartbeat of Antone, Salihah Saadiq, everybody. Incredible photographer, curator. I'm sure y'all come to other incredible Black Music Month events right here at Antone's, curated by Salihah. Thank you so much for spinning for us tonight. All right, y'all, so let's get into it. I thought about having this event and starting with this panel because too often we don't get to see the behind the scenes. Like, it's just all of a sudden, ooh, there's a great song, and it came out online, it just fell from the skies, or I heard it in the club, and you're an overnight success. All right, so my first question is, when did you know that you had music inside of you?
Golly, I feel like I grew up in Brooklyn. So I grew up in a Caribbean family.
But ain't nobody from Brooklyn in the house. You just much louder than
I don't know. Clearly there ain't. You wouldn't need to prompt it. Growing up in a Caribbean background, I grew up in the birth of hip hop. Like, I grew up in the 80s in Brooklyn. So like, there literally used to be big speakers out, sound systems out, like not even a party going on, just like as people were doing their laundry or whatever, they just put sound systems out on the street. And so it's just a part of life for me personally. Like, I don't know when music was a part of me because it never wasn't, right? But when I found out I was a musician, or I had something to offer out, was musical theater. I was a musical theater nerd. So junior high school, when I auditioned to play Dorothy and Wiz, and they're like, "You're gonna sing." I'm like, "Oh snap, okay, I'm gonna have to learn how to do that." And I did it, and I was really proud of myself. So I feel like musical theater is actually the way that I came to know that I could tell a story through song. Like, I could do that,
I think similarly, I grew up in a music city. I'm from New Orleans, and so music is like all around you from a very early age, like from second lines to going to the Black church. So I think from a young age I was just always around it. And for me personally, when I first kind of really started to realize about myself that I was maybe a writer or a musician, was my grandmother. I was the only child, and I spent a lot of time with my grandmother, and she did not have that many ways to entertain me, so I would just always be in her living room with the boombox, just finding tapes from wherever. People, like my neighbors, would throw out old records, and I would go and dig through their trash, bring it back to my grandmother's house. She would be like, "Stop bringing that stuff in my house." I would play these records like from all over the world. I had no idea what it was, what they were saying, but I would always try to emulate them. And then shortly after that, I was writing. I was always the kid in the neighborhood trying to put together a rap group. I did that all through elementary school, all through middle school, up until high school. But I think when I started to take being a musician seriously as a writer, I was probably in middle school, and me and my first girl group, we were really, trying to be on BET. We were serious, and we were, writing songs and, trying to get studio time. We were doing the whole thing. So I feel like from a young age, I was always writing and always trying to be the rapper that I am today.
I grew up here in Austin, so it was definitely like a musical city. But I feel like I wasn't really inspired by that or exposed to that like when I was a lot younger. I think I just kind of knew that I had a voice when I was younger, and I learned from watching television, to be honest, like Nickelodeon and Disney Channel. I saw these kids and I wanted to be like them, and I would sing those songs. And yeah, my first concert was the Cheetah Girls, and I still say like Miss Adrienne Bailon, like she taught me how to sing, for real. I owe her a lot. Yeah, so those were the sorts of things I would watch growing up, and just yeah, learning how to entertain. I would watch The Fresh Prince and things like that. Yeah, and then when I got to elementary school, it definitely turned into musical theater, and I was also trying to like have a little girl group in elementary school. We would write songs, and like they're very silly, and I still remember them, so that lets me know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And then in high school, I was yeah, auditioning for musicals and getting roles that I feel like people my senior were supposed to be getting, like seniors. I was a freshman, and some people were mad.
Small flex.
Yeah, but yeah, so I knew at a young age, and then I guess like performing my own things like that I would write as myself versus like playing a character. I think that happened probably in like 2020, to be honest with you. So yeah.
So let's get into that. So instead of playing a character, taking ownership of your voice and saying, this is what I have to say and this is what I want to put into song. Like, can you talk a little bit about if you have a process? What does it look like? I know as a poet, you know, my process is different from the next poet you'll meet. You know, it varies on what people need, and I imagine it's the same for songwriters. So do you journal? Do you keep a running list of possible songs, or just what is your process for writing down a new song?
For me, the process it's different sometimes. And like I was just telling them back there, I think as I've gotten older, it's kind of evolved what that process looks like, because now I do more producing. So, you know, now I'm thinking about, you know, different things when I write and writing at different stages. But for me, it's always been having like the music first, having the beat, listening to what the music is telling me. You know, I think music is very rhetorical, so it's always kind of coming with a, you know, a theme right off the bat, a mood to kind of tap into. So I listen to that first, and then I'm very, you know, I'm influenced by the world around me, what's going on in my personal life, or what's going on in the world, or you know, very much how I'm feeling. And the first thing is, you know, I start with a line, and from there it's, you know, either I start with a line, or if I kind of can't tap into something, but I'm really loving the music, you know, I kind of ask around. I'll ask somebody else, what does this feel like? Or, you know, what colors do you see? Like, what story do you feel? And then I try to kind of use that to go off into something. Because, like, as a storyteller, you're always, like, kind of looking for the thing that inspires the story. So I think the first part of my process is trying to find, like, what the story is. And one line, and then one line after the next, and as I've gotten older now, my process more is like rewriting. So I've been returning to pieces and, you know, picking things out of it and like putting new things in. So it's been changing, but it's a pretty cool, I would say just like a process that is ongoing, you know.
Yeah, definitely some similarities. I was telling everybody, we were talking before the panel started, and I was just like, there's a million ways to skin a cat. Like, that's how music feels, you know, versus being a doctor or a lawyer. You know, people's paths are more or less the same. But yeah, with music, it's really cool and interesting to hear how everybody attacks it differently. A lot of the times when I have a beat or I'm working with a musician and they're playing something that I like, I'll say, oh, I like that, keep doing that. Or if it's a beat, I'll kind of ask myself, like, what do I think this is about? When there's no words happening, you know, like what is the story about? What does it sound like it's about? And that's a big thing for me too, collaboration. I love to collaborate with women. That's my favorite collaborators always. That's usually where I start, and then there's just funny little nuances that we keep as musicians, like, oh, I like how this word sounds here, or I really want to say this at the end of the phrase, but I don't know what the beginning of the phrase is gonna sound like, or just things for aesthetic's sake, I guess. And I like to kind of build around those, kind of like the little word puzzles or whatever. I forget the name of them right now, but it's mostly that, finding out what the story's about, asking others, and I do think collaboration is like a big piece of my process as well. Like they were saying, there's so many different ways that it comes. I think one way that's always most interesting to me is kind of like channeling. Like I feel like Toni Morrison, for example, when she writes, I feel like she's channeling a time or a story that was buried somewhere, and she kind of like brings it up. So sometimes it's exactly as they explained, and most of the time it's like that. And then sometimes, just to add an extra layer to it, it's like channeling. Like when you're writing the story, something is either like funneling to you who the characters are, how they met, or what it is, the experience. Real quick, like I had the song Black Girl Payday, and it was about a figure in history in my family lineage. I had my family tree, and she was so beautiful that they used to sell her as a concubine. And then one day she was like, I could just feel it, like, she eventually got married. She convinced whoever she was with that bought her to marry her, which was illegal, so they had to pay for it. And eventually he died and left her everything, right? But she was an herbalist, so she knew how to work with, the things, what I'm saying? And so I was just like, what was that moment? Like when you're like, I'm about to get paid. Whatever, you know what I mean? There's those things that I wasn't, you're not there. So something comes to you and tells you what it was. And sometimes those are the fastest, because literally like, you're gonna leave in a second, like I gotta write it down. Yeah, so that's in conjunction with that. I think that's another thing that happens, yeah.
So, definitely storytelling, and you mentioned you like hearing the music first too. Like sometimes it's that way, you hear a beat, or you hear someone playing something, you're like, oh wait a minute, rewind that, and then the story starts to come. Are any of you musicians as well? Like you were saying, Megs, that you've gotten into producing more. Do any of you play instruments, or maybe you talk more about producing the tracks that you also rap over?
Yeah, I don't play any instruments, like legit. I could tinker around, or teach myself a lot of things, because I feel like I'm always a student. I'm always like eager to learn more about music, and instruments are like one of those things that I always have this desire to kind of get to know better. So I have been spending more time with it, but what I found with producing is sometimes it's about like taking what's in your head and finding all the right pieces to put it together for you, and that's kind of how I've been producing. So for example, like writing the reverse, like there was this one time where I felt really called to like, in the morning or kind of when I'm fresh, like a lot of things come to me, kind of like you said, you like kind of channeling a lot, because it's like the first thing when you wake up or at the end of a day, like I have a lot on my mind. So I would write these things, and one of the first times I did this, I had this thing that I wrote, and I was in New York, and I called up some of the producers I know, and we went in the studio, and I kind of, spit it to them, and I was like, I'm feeling something like a little dark, but like a little this, like I try to like really explain what I'm feeling and all of these like feelings, and then they are putting like music to the feelings, and it's such a like, it's kind of hit or miss sometimes, because you have to really leave it up to like the musicians to like really be able to pull it out of you and like translate it. But a lot of times like it's kind of like this really awesome moment where they kind of know exactly what you mean, and they're able to put the colors to it. Like I call it the palette. So like, is it a saxophone? Is it like a lighter instrument that's kind of floating or like fluttering on top, or is it something like deep, like a bass line or like a percussive bass line, like kind of pushing the momentum of the story. And I like to like arrange, so I like for the story to have like a nice pace to it and like have the elements drop in and out. So that's kind of how I've been producing, just pretty much like a conducting it, but not necessarily having all the tools to like get it out myself.
Yeah, I also don't play any instruments or read any music. It is a goal before I'm gone away from this earth. Definitely, I'm gonna do it if it's the last thing I do. But yeah, just to kind of add on to what Meg said, there is a language barrier sometimes between us and a musician or a producer. And they kind of laugh at us because I say things like, can we make it a little bit more, fluffy or like bouncy or a little darker, a little more underwater. Like underwater is like something I say and like, what does that even mean? But yeah, it is super interesting and gratifying to have them, it's like, I guess speaking to someone who doesn't speak any English and they get what you're trying to say kind of thing, like just off of, you acting it out or, using what little Spanish you had. It's like, it's cool. Yeah, I'm hoping to bridge the gap a little bit before I'm done here.
Yeah, I think I just only going to reiterate what they're saying. Like, yeah, definitely. I don't play any instruments. I mean, you can consider the voice an instrument. It is an instrument. I used to think like, I'm a lyricist and I had a friend of mine, Kiko Villamizar. He was just like, no, you're a percussionist. I was just like, what you mean? And he was just like, when you rap, like you're playing with the percussion of the cadence of the thing. So, you're a verbal percussionist. Like you are a musician in that sense. Like you know how to play on top of the thing. So I'm trying to receive that. Like in my mind, I'm just like, nah, but these motherfuckers can play. Like I don't do that. But he's like, no, like there is a musicality to being able to ride over, to play in conjunction with other musicians. Like you have to have musicality. So that part I'm trying to own. But yeah, and I don't play any instruments and very much the same. Like kiki kaka kiki like could you do that, or it's usually something like that when we play with other people.
I love how the songwriters all get it. Like immediately when Maya was like, make it underwater, they're like, yeah, you know what that means, make it underwater. Make it kiki kaka. You know what I'm saying? I love that, but that is true. Like every artist has their tools, right? And so you become, masters of that. Y'all are masters at the tools that you have. And I think one way that songwriters are really at a next level is when we're able to riff, right? Or like, I don't know, do they still do ciphers? Do ciphers still happen?
Great question.
Like that was for real. If you wanted to see who was at their peak, like can you go into a cipher raw and freestyle? Can you, and the same with jazz, like can you show up at a club and scat and do jazz and you just become in tune with the band, right? Like does that type of improvisation still happen in your work?
Do I improvise? Yeah, I mean once in a while you get called to a jam session. And you do that. I think it depends on what point you are in your career. Like, I think when you're just trying to get out, there's a lot more of that. Like, because you're trying to find people to collaborate with. You're trying to see what the scene is like, who's here, what's going on. There's a lot more of that. I could say, like, more so in earlier parts of the career. I think now, because you actually have to produce work and you have to create, you kind of have to be in your bubble. And, you know what I mean? You also have deadlines. You have, somebody hired you for this, that, and the third. It's a different... The work. You got to work. Now it's your livelihood, so there's less time to play. That's what I kind of experienced that as. You need time to play, but I think even in the creative process, sometimes that is improvisational. Like that's when you're with some musicians and you're trying to figure something out, and like everyone's trying to figure something out, and something really rich can come out of that, and then you're just like record it, So that's part of it's there in that sense,
Yeah, this is something I'm bad at, I will say, is improvising. It's awkward for me in the studio. It's awkward for me when I'm alone, full transparency. I like to write it out, and be prepared. I think I'm a little bit type A in that sense. But yeah, that's another thing that I think more immediately I need to definitely get better at, because it is so awesome. Like I have a friend here in Austin who, that's like the start of her process, you know, is just see what comes out, offer it, like, and then just pick from that. And I so admire that, and she's gotten like amazing words and amazing stories told, and just like beautiful sticky things from that. And yeah, I'm gonna work on it because it is really cool, but it's not something in my toolbox right now.
Yeah, I second that. I've been around a lot of really cool like musicians and writers who are really good at that. Like they pull out the voice note and they just kind of start riffing, and like you know, beautiful words and, you know, whole phrases come out. And for me, I think a lot of my process is so internal that it doesn't come out until it's like ready to come out. And I think that's kind of part of me being like, I've always been like a writer first, like, you know, writing, you know, prose or poetry or whatever. So I always look at like, you know, writing music as, or writing lyrics as a, like a piece. So it always kind of stays inside until like it's worked out. But that might be a bit of my personality too. It's yeah, not so much craft, but kind of like a little bit of that perfectionist thing that kind of stops me from like jumping over the edge. But in performance, I think as an MC, like a lot of that comes natural. I know it comes like natural for you. You get up there, you know, feeling it. So I think, you know, on the stage, I feel a lot, you know, a lot more open to that. But in the writing process and working through it, it's like inside for a while first.
So you mentioned poetry, so of course everything on me stood up. We're talking about poetry, but you know, poetry and songwriting, that's the other thing. You know, they're not cousins, they're sisters who share the same bedroom, songs and poetry. So I wanted to ask, you know, you mentioned, Mags, that you are a poet, that you also write poetry. Do you, Key, or do you, Maya, do you write poetry or any other creative writing that then might influence your songwriting too?
They're very separate to me. It doesn't really influence my songwriting. It's like Erykah Badu once said, like, if you start with the word first, then you're a poet. If you start with the melody first, then you're, or the rhythm first, or whatever, then you're a musician. But you still are trying to get words out. And so, like, I started out as a poet. The first thing that made me feel like gave me power was writing poetry. You know, like my first little thing that I won. The first time my teachers were like, "Oh, you're talented, you're gifted." You know, the first time was through poetry. And the way I got into hip hop was through poetry. It was cats hearing me spit poetry, and then they were like, "You should rap." I was like, "Okay, let me try it." But I think for me, like poetry is more free form. You know what I'm saying? I feel like lyrics tend to, you have to kind of play with a bed, and you have to fit over this bed. And you don't have to, but that tends to be what music is. Otherwise, you're doing poetry over music, and that's its own thing, and that's still not rap. It's still not, you know what I mean? It's its own thing. Even people who are doing affirmations over music, like Tony, what's her name? But you know, they're different. It's still very different. So, because there's no musicality involved. So for me, like poetry and music and writing are all very separate experiences for me. They come from different places in myself. You know, if I'm writing a script or if I'm writing something like that, it has to be really quiet. I have to be very alone. All of these different things. I need a lot of time. And like music is more of a communal process. It's not always something I do by myself, as opposed to other things where you need more space because it is more free form. You know what I mean? That's how I feel it. Yeah. If that was a question, right? Okay.
Yeah, you broke it down for real.
I would agree. I think they're separate, but I do. It's undeniable how related they are. You know, it's like almost like fraternal twins to me. I have one song that started as a poem, And I would love to, you know, ask other artists like throughout my life. That would be like a favorite question of mine to ask, like what started with no music? It was just like words that you wanted to write, or a journal entry of yours, or I don't write poetry. I think that might be the one time that I can remember in my life, other than like for school, which I couldn't tell you any words I wrote in high school if we had an exercise like that. But yeah, I have one song, it's one of my favorite ones, and I'm performing later, that started as a poem. And I think the reason why it started as a poem was because I wanted to get it so right. It is such a important topic, like in life, that I just wanted it to be like fire. Like I didn't want to, I just wanted it to be like a absolutely undeniable song. And if I do say so myself, I think I did that. So yeah, but I wouldn't consider myself a poet, but I actually have been returning to that like start of the process, because there are other topics going on personally, like where I want to get it really right. Yeah, so I think if I take it serious, I start like that, which is kind of nuts to realize in this real-time moment.
Yeah, I would agree that I do think they're separate, but I feel like I personally always use like one to like inform or influence the other. So I think like my first approach is always like, well, as a writer, like, you know, how clear are you? How vivid are you? You know, and like that's kind of some elements that, you know, I would take from, same with school, you know, taking poetry classes, like kind of what are some elements that I can pull from this, and, you know, pull into that. So like I also write like screenplays and like prose and stuff like that, and each one I'm trying to pull in something from the other. So like when I'm writing the screenplay, I'm trying to pull in rhythm and pacing from music, and when I'm writing music, I'm trying to pull in like, you know, the kind of artist storytelling from prose, and also like the kind of vividness from poetry, because like in poetry you do so much with so little. And I think it's kind of similar.
Metaphor, imagery,
yeah,
rhyme
exactly.
scheme, like all of that are the bones, you know, of
Right.
poetry, right? And you all utilize them so well. So I don't know. They said they don't write poetry. I think you do, right? But you know, it just a testament to what they say. The truly gifted make it look easy. Right. So when you are utilizing all of these skills and not naming it as such, it's because it's in you. You know, it's just in you and part of your language. So I've got one more question, and then I want to come out and ask the audience, you know, give you a chance to ask some questions. But you know, as an emerging songwriter, right? If someone is out there and they're like, you know, I want to write a song, I got a song in me, but I don't know where to start. What advice would you give them? It could be like how to just start first getting the words out, or real practical, like I use this site to get beats, you know, things like that.
I think the first thing is like to get over self-consciousness. You know what I mean? Like before you're a musician or a writer, you're not. Right? So like you're trying to be like, I feel like I am, I think I am, you know, and you have to cross that bridge before you feel like you should write something down that you're going to present in front of people, you know? And I think that's my first thing. Like if you're just getting started, is trust that whatever you're saying, whatever inside of you is saying that's what you are, that's what you are. So do that, and don't kind of hyper fixate on so much of what's gonna go, how it's gonna go down, where it's gonna go down, what you're gonna do with it, whatever. Just kind of get over that initial phase and just be like, I wrote, you know, whatever it is, and present it however you want to present it, online, in cipher or whatever. Like I think that's always like the first thing. Everyone wants to like create a song, but in all honesty, the first thing before you start writing is like, am I this thing? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the same. I think the first thing is like finding like a safe space to like just get it out, wherever you feel most comfortable. So for a lot of people, it's like in ciphers. For a lot of people, it's just like, you know, writing in your journal or writing at home, or like, you know, reciting it out loud. in a room by yourself, or if you want to share with a friend, but whatever feels like the safest space, like for what you said, to just kind of like not talk yourself out of it or not overthink it, but for whatever feels most natural to you. Just getting over that first part before, you know, you kind of think about like, well, what beat I'm gonna use, or what, you know, where I'm gonna record it, you know, like, just kind of like getting the words on the page, or the idea, and just kind of like letting go a little bit, because it is scary to try something new, but like you kind of have to like just do it. Like that's usually always the first step, is to just do something.
Like Nike.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that part. Just yeah, that was huge. Like before you're, you know, a writer, you're not. So yeah, I think just definitely standing in that, and then I think like maybe the second step to that is like, if you're fucking with it, like that's all that matters, yes. You know? And yeah, I think that muscle grew so strong for me over the past couple of years. Like, if you like it, if you like what you wrote, like that's, if you don't like it and someone else likes it, like, you know, it's art, that's the point. But I think just always follow your intuition, and like, it's awesome to know that I think the more you do it, the stronger you will get. With that, not everything is for everybody. So definitely just, if you like it, roll with it. Everyone's like a novice, you know, it'll feel embarrassing at first. But yeah, can you repeat the question? Sorry.
No, you said it. If you like it, I love it.
Cool.
All right, anybody got a question out here? Just raise your hand. All right, right here.
Hey, thank you so much for doing this. This is awesome. So my question is, when you put something out in the world, but then you get people being prescriptive and telling you to change it, what do you do then? What usually happens?
I've never done that, so I don't know. I will say that there are times if someone hired you to do it, you do what they hired you to do, you know? But I think we're all independent artists, right? You can do what you want to do. Like, I've never really, I think at the most part, like working with like a partner like Shaka or somebody, some people like, it might sound better if you know, end it with this, or if you fill it in so that the cadence is a little different, or X, Y, and Z, and that's just like more supporting the idea as opposed to being asked to change the idea. But I think as an independent artist, you don't really interface with that as much. So I know that I can say that that's not been a reality for me.
Yeah, I think over time, like, that's kind of fizzled out. But I mean, two things is, one is like, I only take notes from people I trust. So I'm only asking I only ask you if I actually trust you and respect your opinion. And then second, you know, take what is productive and what resonates with you and leave what doesn't. And you just keep it at that, and you don't have to explain yourself or anything. I mean, when I first started, a lot of people were saying like the jazzy thing was like lame, but you know, doing what felt right to me for this long, now people are coming around and doing like some of the same stuff. So you really have to stand 10 toes down. If you, like you said, if you really fuck with it and you believe in it, you know, you stick with that and you stick with your gut. But you know, every now and then you do have someone that you really respect, and you know, maybe it is worth like, you know, hearing them out, but again, you can hear out everything they say, and you can say, you know what, I actually feel like I want to leave it this way, and you know, be okay with that.
Absolutely. I think I have experienced this maybe like the first time collaborating with another artist, like maybe just feeling awkward about saying, I'm not feeling what you just suggested or whatever, you know. You just develop tools, you know, like, or if you say something and you can tell somebody's not messing with it, it's like, I'm not married to that. Like, just a suggestion. Just and then just using your, just like your internal filter. Like, all things in moderation. Like, criticism too. So.
Another question? You partially answered my question, but I was curious, especially like you say you don't let anything out until you're finished with it. How do collaborations work, and how do you hang on to what is yours, and what's the process like to actually merge these ideas?
Yeah, well, as a group, it's two of us, so we're like constantly in collaboration. And I think, again, it kind of goes to like trust. Like, you learn to like trust your collaborators, and you tend to work with people who you really respect and you really work well with. And you know, sometimes you get in sessions to collaborate and you realize like, oh, we were just talking about this. You're like,
yeah, handling the stairwell for that.
Like, oh, this is not what I thought it would be, or this is not like the collaboration or the collaborator I was looking for. But there's always kind of a lesson in it, like whether you're learning like language to like stand up for your ideas, or whether you're learning something about yourself, or whether there's like one tiny thing in that session that you can take away. There's usually always something. But I would say that a big part of it is just like trusting your collaborators and knowing that y'all are on the same page, and knowing that when y'all do share ideas, it's kind of, it's working together, and it's not like working against the project or the thing that you're trying to, you know, finish with. And yeah, you learn over time who those people are, and what those tools are. But I think, again, like time and trust are like two things that really kind of like figure it out for you.
Yeah, I think for me it's a little different because like my collaborator is also my husband musically, right, for a very long time. And so like we're in marriage and we're writing together, and I can honestly say I have not always taken criticism very well, you know what I mean? They're like, well, I know I didn't wash the dishes, so I ain't doing this song or whatever, like, you know, things that were like that. But I think also even earlier on, it was hard for me to take criticism of people just because of trauma, you know what I mean? Like I wasn't able to take criticism because, you know, you just associate rejection a certain way. And so that also becomes part of the artistic process. It's kind of like learning how it becomes an impediment, you know what I mean? And so like it becomes the spiritual work at the same time. Like how do you get past that so you can produce the work that's inside of you? Like what are these barriers? It's always kind of an internal thing for me for the most part. Like I'm not hyper concerned about what people think about my music per se. The barrier for me is always, as far as collaboration, is always this internal barrier. You know, when there was that, it was like, it's more so an internal barrier of like, how am I gonna let someone in? You know, let them into what I'm doing, you know what I mean? Like, because sometimes people had great ideas and they had and I would just break down. They're like, what do you mean you don't like it? You know what I mean? It would turn into that. But it deepened a spiritual work, you know, so it can turn into that. The collaboration can become that, which is great.
Something my dad always told me growing up was like, be annoying. Like, you know, if you want this thing, like the worst they can tell you is no. If they tell you worse than that, like you always got me to come back to if your like feelings are hurt or whatever. But yeah, I think with collaborators, you know, to be quite honest, like we're all independent artists. Like the people who produce my music and play behind me, they all have families and day jobs, and so it is hard to like chase down 5 grown men sometimes to get something done, you know. And I wish I had every skill and every tool, you know, to do it myself, but unfortunately that's not the case. I feel like it wouldn't be the case with anything you're doing. So getting to like a completed place with stuff, yeah, I just over communicate. I check in with people. I develop relationships to where I can say really blunt things and they know I love them and I don't mean it like that, but I'm like, I hate that noise, like please take it out, you know? And people just get to know me and I'm like, we can't go on if this is not out of here, like, you know? And yeah, I just check in. I ask stupid questions, and yeah, I'm very fortunate to where I'm like kind of a pusher. Like I really want to get it done, you know, if that's what it is. So yeah, you just gotta find your people. I think that's the essence of it.
I love that. We got time for one more question.
I'm gonna take it back to the beginning. How did you make a name for yourself? Did you just put your art out there and just, you know, people vibed off of it and you got collaborations that way, or did you have relationships already? And what advice would you give to someone?
I definitely, I guess my journey was a little different because I was in musical theater, but even that I think is the same thing. Like, you just tried something, right? And I think also I think what's really great, I don't know if that still exists, but it's like an iron sharpen iron, right? Like, somebody's doing something dope, and you see the reaction they get on stage, and you're like, oh, I gotta go up next. Okay, like, is my effort up to par? Like, you know what I mean? And it's not necessarily for me. It's not necessarily like a competitive thing, but it's just like, oh, am I hitting the mark? Like, I had a lot of OGs. I think that's important. I had a lot of OGs as I came up in theater, and I came up in all of that, and they would be like, that ain't it. And so, like, you gotta be willing to hear that. I think that's really important in progress. That ain't it. You did not hit that note right. You did not hit your spot on the stage. You know what I'm saying? This cat is virtuoso on the thing, and you're not keeping up with that because you're not practicing, or you're not da-da-da-da-da-da-da. I told you to have your lines memorized when you came here, and you don't. Why? Right? So, and to learn that was all love. That was because someone saw something in me and was just like, you get to the stuff, get to it, right? And I think as long as you're always willing to be like, get to it, and you're willing to hear someone tell you, get to it, you know what I mean? And you're willing to answer the call of you that's like, get to it, you get to it. You know, I think that's the main thing with getting started. Like, when you're young, you're full of hubris, you know what I mean? You don't want to hear that. But I had I was really fortunate to have elders who were like, this is what it is. Like, you're late, you're this, you're that. And it teaches you to be a professional. I think more so than anything, wanting to learn to be a professional is even better than wanting to learn to be an artist. You know what I mean? Because there's plenty of artists that are just doing it in their living rooms, and that's fine. There's nothing, you know what I'm saying? That's okay. But if you want to make a life out of it, you got to be willing to see what it takes. I think that's the main thing. Like actually figure out, or go ask somebody, like, what does it take to do this? How did you get to be on this stage? What did you know what I mean? And have somebody push you, like, you know, be willing to get pushed. That's a hard thing to do, but it is part of it. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think same. It's just kind of like when I started here in Austin, didn't really have much of anything to work with. My band came about because my producer partner was asked to do a talent show on our campus, and a friend of a friend said, hey, you should get her to come and rap over your beats. And we got up there with like this whole band, probably was like the wackest thing ever, but like me and him really clicked. And at the end of the show, I was like, yo, you want to do this again sometime? Like, you want to put together a tape? Like, you want to do this whole thing? And he was like, yeah, I'm down. So from there, we just kind of became a band, and like, we never even talked about what we were gonna do or what the goal was or what we were trying to do, but our sights were always on something bigger. And like, we were coming into the scene where, you know, there was a hip hop community already here, and you kind of just want to be respected, and you kind of want to be in it. And so you got these OGs you're looking up to, and you're seeing what they're doing, and you're like, well, how do I get there? And when we started, you know, our sound was a little different, and we were kind of battling both worlds. You know, we would try to play venues, and they didn't want rap in the venues. So we were like, well, what are we missing that everybody else has? We look on stage and there's like actual like instrumentalists. So we were like, okay, well, I'll go and get some instrumentalists. Like, I'll go get a bassist. I'll go get I make it undeniable. Like, you have to keep grinding. You have to make yourself undeniable. And like, if you don't stop, like people will start paying attention to you, especially if there is something there. And so there was always like this hustle and this like fire inside of me to be like respected for what I did. And a little bit of that is a little, stubbornness, but if you're gonna do it, like you have to do it, and you have to really put yourself into it, and you kind of can't really think about it. You have to be doing more than you're thinking. And so yeah, it was just one of those things where like from there you build connections and people start to realize like you're not going away, like you're gonna keep doing this. And yeah, I never really thought about it. I just always had a battery in my back, and that's what we did as a duo, and that's what we continue to do.
Yeah, that's a great question. Like, make a name for yourself. Imposter syndrome is a real thing, and like that's awesome to hear somebody who thinks that about me. You know what I mean? I got to this stage because in 2020 I came back from college because my school year got cut short. I got COVID. I had to be in isolation in my own house so that I wouldn't get my mom and dad and grandma sick from doing the wrong thing and hanging out with my high school friends, the only people I knew here. I was on Google. I found a vocal coach here in Austin who was taking clients and had this big like plastic thing to have vocal lessons because that was his livelihood. And he said, "You're really good. Let me introduce you to some people who can help you make your own music." And he introduced me to some like in-house engineers at this beautiful studio called Orb here in Austin. And these guys are super talented. So basically, if you have the money to pay by the hour I'm sorry I'm being long-winded, but people ask this, and I used to ask this, and like nobody would give me like a detailed, I'm like, how? Tell me how. So you can pay by the hour for studio time. You can book it online, and these are the guys that are there with you. And you say, hey, I want to make a classic rock song or whatever, and they can make anything, and they're employed by the studio. And the guy who my vocal coach connected me with is this guy named Andrew Schindler, super talented. He had this girlfriend who was a former like college athlete like myself. We just connected on a lot. She was a few years older than me, and she kind of put the battery in my back. She said, I understand feeling behind. I understand that there's people who have been doing this since they were 10 and 12 years old. You have to believe that you are this, what do you want to write about today? What do you want to do with this? Like, she had already had a few years on me of getting to the mindset that I feel like I'm in right now. Yeah, Andrew was just super talented and helped me really make whatever I wanted to make, or however I wanted it to sound. I was just, using my words. And he introduced me to people and so on and so forth. And 2 years ago, Andrew, the guy who my vocal coach introduced me to the guy who I sang backup for on Tiny Desk. So yeah, it's just like, I just wanted to do what I loved. I was like, I got this degree. I've always wanted to sing. Let me just find a way to do what makes me happy right now. And yeah, you have to do more than you think, because now I have I'm never gonna stop, so just do what you love.
That's a great note to end on. Do what you love. Thank you so much, Dada, Meg, Maya. Thank you all for coming out. Thank you for sharing. We're gonna take a little intermission and do a transition up here, and we're gonna come back to some performances. First up, we've got Megs of Magna Carta. Next, we've got Maya Sampleton. We're gonna close it out with Key Dada. So y'all get a drink, stretch your legs, use the restroom, listen to Salihah Saadiq spin these ones and twos. Thank you so much.
Don't go nowhere.
Don't go away. We're coming right back. All right. Y'all still with me in tones? Are y'all still with me in tones? All right. Thank y'all for kicking it with us tonight for Say Word. This is how we are closing out Black Music Month, celebrating incredible Black women songwriters. And I love when when you extend an invitation to a black woman, she say, I'm coming, I'm bringing all my people with me. That's how we roll. So I need y'all to keep that energy going for the one and only Magna Carta.
What's good, y'all? How y'all feeling tonight? Thank y'all for rocking with us. Shout out to Torch for having us. She takes center stage, she's under the light shine. She got eyes locked on the steady, she drops down. She can't be contained in her dollar, her life size, her worldwide, transcendental in real time. She can't take like these lifestyle confines, no. She gets sharks swimming in shallow water. She put it on the line, no matter what it's gonna cost her. That's what the people from the hood she grew up in told her. It's Southern diction sitting on her tongue if you listen. A master with precision, paint you a pretty picture. She will take you to the revolution and don't put it on no TV screen, cause she sings right to your senses. She's speaking about the isms. She's reeling you in quicker. She's here to make you feel it. She's waking up your inner light. Yeah, she's speaking about the isms. She's here for you to feel this. She's waking up your inner. Yeah. She needs more when she professes, not for attention. Look. But I cannot see you later. You catching this feeling, I'm your prime instigator. Cause the real is we laid up and you ride when I call 5 minutes before I skate up in the 89. And Monte Carlo blow your lines and you come outside and hit this interstate 5, pull that cherry wine. Otherwise, this gon' be goodbye. Stars on the line. Listen, now I'm out here. Don't wanna stay inside, been wrapped up, and it just feel too right. Attachment gon' make me lose my mind. Look, I'm just tempting temptation. Now I'm laid up, but I'm on my own. Need a break from loving you alone. I might let some in, but I don't wanna get too close. No, yeah. But I don't wanna too close. No. Yeah, but look, I got too many times you could keep the pressure. But when I'm in your city, love, we gotta behave. Nah, I'm not into falling in no love hangover. I'm doing better off on my own, sticking to getting paid. These days, got way too many thoughts that's on my mind. Before we get attached to this, I'm switching up my ways. So if you try to ride, who am I to say you can't? You can get inside this passenger side, come ride this way, yeah. You can get inside this passenger side, come ride this way, yeah. Ride this way, yeah. Don't wanna stay inside, been wrapped up. This shit just feel too right. Attachment gon' make me lose my mind, yeah. I'm just tempting temptation, now I'm laid up. But I'm on my own, need a break from loving you alone. I might let some in, but I don't wanna get too close. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for rocking with us. I appreciate it.
They gon' see me risk it all first, right? Come on. They gon' see me risk it all first, right? Yeah. They gon' see me risk it all first, right? Yeah. They gon' see me risk it all first, right? Come on. They gon' see me risk it all first. Yeah. They gon' see me risk it all first. Yeah. One time for my brother Mike on the drums, y'all. Yeah. My brother from another mother, Dougie Boo on the keys. I'm Meg, your vocalist, your writer for tonight. Leo Magna Carter with a D, not a T. Thank you, Torch, for having me. Much love, y'all. Hey. Yeah. Mr. Say, coming for us, pay for the date. He want it all up straight, and he ain't playing no games. I earn this cash, wild cheese, I ain't taking no break. They gon' see me risk it all first, right. Mr. Coming for us, pay for the date. He want it all up straight, and he ain't playing no games. I earn that cash, wild cheese, I ain't taking no break. They gon' see me risk it all first, right? Yeah. Thank y'all. Got my establishment coming up next, y'all.
Sing a few songs for you guys. Just wanted to give a big shout out to Torch. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are doing God's work, truly. Yeah, this is Jake. Good? All right, this one's called Till Then.
Sometimes I get to thinking about
stimulating conversation I just had, and like it's just been really fun for me. Yeah, so I just want to give a big thank you to all of you guys for showing up and supporting and listening. Yeah, I'm gonna talk a little bit in between songs because I feel like this is a cool show to do that. That one was about my high school boyfriend. The next one is like a little more sad. It's called Grief, and it goes like this. Grief, but to think you feel relief, that's a bitter pill, but I know it will. Help me to heal. Grief, all in conversation I need. Not a company, reassure me that this too shall pass. How a season can change, January to May, scared every day this might come to an end. Tried even so, loved you I know, and now I'm terrified that we can't be friends. I cry again, call my mama, call a friend, I sing, rinse and repeat. So helpless I feel to be sure. Helpless, you're not mine anymore. Difficult to fill this void. Difficult to have no choice. No, but you gave me so many gifts. Just to know you is at the top of my list. Oh, I don't wanna give you up. I pray you can make new space for us. How a season can change, January to May, scared every day this might come to an end. Tried even so, love you I know, now I'm terrified that we can't be friends. I cry again, call my mama, call a friend, I sing, rinse and repeat. Okay, this next one I've only performed one other time. Yeah, it's cool. I'm super proud of it. If y'all are here for the panel, this is the one that started off as a poem. Catch your eyes and catch your numbers. I can never help but wonder if they want me for me or if they just fetishize my color. And I'm supposed to play pretend like we can decide. Yeah. All right, I have one more for y'all. Miss Amanda said I could do it, so. This one's called Sia. Ooh, I just wanna feel pretty and protect my hair. It's getting awfully scary out there. So I'ma stay inside in my vibe, but you'll have a great night now. Only proof of life is my recent and my close friends. Got a couple loose ends and my close friends that ain't really my close friends. I'm healing, but the days get away from me. I'm feeling like I wish you to stay with me. Because of you, I started to change, but now I'm getting back in my lane. Yeah, so take care, and I'll see ya. When I see ya, it was so nice to meet ya. But my show is on, and I got an early morning, so I gotta get going. Yeah, I'll be going now. Yeah. Cause I got some shit to do and I got a lot of shit to prove to myself. Yeah.
Most of my work, artistically, media, whatever, is all about that. It's all about decolonizing your perception of power, decolonizing your perception of self, you know, and allowing yourself a more robust imagination and form of existence or whatever. And I always give homage to female sages. And one of my favorite female sages is Felicia Rashad. Y'all know Felicia Rashad? Claire Huxtable? Yeah. Outside of her acting, just listen to her talk. She's amazing. She's so amazing. So I was really into her, and I wrote this song in homage to her. It's called The Eyes of Felicia Rashad. I look through your soul with the eyes of Felicia Rashad. The eyes of Felicia Rashad. Don't know who you know. You know that I am above. You know that I am above. With vintage couture, I know you. I'm second to none. Second to none. I know my body feeds your energy. Like running through roses. Come get your voltage. I look through your soul with the eyes of Felicia Rashad. Don't know who you know. You know that I am above. With vintage couture, I know you. I'm second to none. I know my body feeds your energy. Like running through roses. Come get your voltage. It's unclear that you know what I'm about. Your confusion is confusing when the words come out your mouth. Bottoms up if you like to drink the juice. Your lies are in the gutter, and I'm the living proof. Road to the mud, heart to the ground. Go ahead and take the jewel. I know I am the crown. I summon power, I summon mastery. You're weak in your position, take it back to the factory. I fly above the noise and you exist in your catastrophe. You running towards your goals, but what I want comes after me, happily. I alter my state of being, Her Majesty, bringing you messages in your dreams. The information is underneath my coats. I disappear and reappear in the cloud of smoke.
Don't you know that I can read your soul? Don't you know that I can read your soul? Don't you know that I can read your soul? Don't you know that I can read your soul? Don't you know that I can read your soul? Don't you know that I can read your soul? Don't you know that I can read your soul? Hey! Here's the beat, it's alright. Yo, so my name is Dada, and like I said, I dramatically appreciate. Hold on now. Not yet. There you go. Appreciate it. We're trying to make it happen rather than make some noise, y'all. So then this song is called Golden Clip. Now, that's funny, right? Yeah, it is. The reason I wrote this song is because people don't really appreciate the dynamic device that a uterus is, or that orgasms are. There's like a very profound science attached to it. I can't get into that, but if you'd like to know, I do teach classes because I want people to get up out of this colonial nonsense. So, but this one is called Golden Clit, so y'all gonna help me out with it at the very end. Yeah, get into it. It's all right, go ahead, let's go. with them. Hold on. Keep going, y'all keep that going. Golden glint, I got a golden glint. Now y'all start over here. I got a golden glint. 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 I got a golden. I got a golden. I got a golden. I got a golden glint. To be a little more complicated than I thought it was going to be. It's all right. It's okay. First of all, thank you to Torch Literary Arts. I want to give a shout out to these lovely ladies on stage with me. This is Nettie. I call her the Duchess of Igbo Rock. This is Tensi. I call her the Empress of Ital R&B. They are both incredible artists in their own right. Tensi is with a Fulu Child. She sings also. Nettie's a fantastic musician, bass player, keys player, just rock star. She's amazing. She's amazing. We rocked out together at Blues on the Green. Make some noise for Riders Against the Storm being their first hip hop act to headline Blues on the Green in front of 30,000 people. It's been a journey, and I just had a baby a couple years ago. I keep saying not just, but a couple years ago, so we're just getting back in the fold is what I'm saying. So this is part of why this is great to be here with y'all tonight, for Torch to take time to register the art that's happening with women and, understand the fullness of what it takes sometimes when you're navigating life and being an independent artist and you're in a creative. So thank you again, Amanda Johnson. Yeah, I support Torch. And she interviewed Nikki Giovanni yesterday. Like, she just walking around real humble. Could just be on stages with legends and just walk around regular, okay? All right. So this next song is my last one. And it's just a fun song because I'm a Caribbean girl. And I love that about myself. I very much enjoy my Caribbean culture. And it's called Popular. It's kind of a shout out to anyone who hates how wonderful I am. So, let's go. Let's go. Y'all can move over here with me. Come and join me too. Whoever come and join me. Thank you guys again. Thanks Torch Literary Arts. Thank you Shaka, my wonderful husband. Thank you to my lovely ladies, Tempsy and Eddie. Y'all checking them out. Thank you to all my friends that came out tonight. Peace and love. All this music is coming out, I swear, I promise. Shaka be like, let's release some music. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Ashe.
Another round of applause. Dada, Riders Against the Storm. Keep it going. Maya Stapleton. Yasmin Corner. Oh my gosh. You know, this is what I'm talking about. This is the incredible work that we get to have and enjoy right here in Austin, Texas. Show up for the artists who are making this incredible work in your community. Thank you for the bands. We're like, y'all came through. They're like, I'm bringing the band, guitars, piano, keys, drums. Thank you, backup vocalists, everyone that made this happen. Thank you all for showing up. Again, check out torchliterarys.org. Give it up for Salihah Saadiq, DJ and us. Salihah is gonna keep spinning for some time here too. Get another drink. Thank you to your bartenders. Thank you, sound engineer. I mean, none of this works without incredible people making it happen. So get another drink, meet someone new, say hi to the artist, take a selfie, show some love. But, thank me. I wake up every day blessed getting to do what I love. Thank you for being part of my dream. I love you.